Unless you're a Red Sox fan, you might not remember that Franchy Cordero, your starting first baseman, was traded for Andrew Benintendi a few years ago. Well, on the same day that Benintendi was traded to the Yankees, Cordero made like 3 errors in one single game. I'm sorry, Boston fans. What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today. The Mets, they might have broken the Yankees because as soon as that game ended, the Yankees were on the phone making trades. The Astros got swept by the A's of all teams, and that was the first sweep all year for them. And the Dodgers, I just have to say this out loud, they look absolutely stacked, like way better than what I thought they were going to look like. Now, barring any trades, a second video is coming out a little bit later, so make sure you guys are subscribed. Stick around because we're going to talk about Mike Trout's back injury, the fact that it could be career-altering, or is it really? So we have some breaking news before the breaking news that is the Andrew Benintendi trade. I can't believe this is even happening, but Max Meyer, one of my favorite prospects in baseball, he made his debut for the Marlins a few days ago. He came out after the first inning, or the first couple hitters, I think it was, with an arm issue, and it was confirmed that he has damage to his right arm. Tommy John surgery is going to be required, and that pains me because I'm such a big fan of his. This is absolutely awful news. Some people are saying this is a blessing in disguise because it's better to get Tommy John early in your career as opposed to in your prime. I think this sucks regardless, and to me, it turns the Marlins from being buyers to actually being sellers. All right, let's get into the breaking news, the title of today's video. The Yankees have traded for All-Star Andrew Benintendi. I thought that he was going to be a multi-time All-Star, but then when I checked his baseball reference, this was the first year that he was ever on an All-Star roster. Now, I call him Benny Biceps, but looking at his stats, I don't know if you can call him Benny Biceps anymore because the power has been zapped. He has 1 home run over the last 2 months, but he's hitting .321 on the season, and he does not strike out a lot. I think he strikes out 17 to 18% of the time. Now, once upon a time with the Red Sox, he was hitting 15 to 17 home runs a season, stealing 15 to 20 bags, so he has the tools to be a decent power guy, especially in Yankee Stadium. Now, the Royals, their Twitter fan base was not happy because they did not get a single top 15 prospect. I'm not going to break down these guys piece by piece, but they get TJ Sikkema, Chandler, Champlain, and Beck. I think that Beck has the highest potential of any of them, but Royals fans, again, they're not happy. They feel like they got fleeced. Also, one note I want to make that a lot of fans across baseball are clowning on the Yankees like, dude, you just traded for a guy who's not vaccinated, so he can't play against the Blue Jays when you go to Toronto. Well, Andrew Benintendi, he changed that. He's actually getting vaccinated, so teams were more willing to trade for him. So there's the update. Benintendi is going to get the jab. He's now in the Yankees, and I think that Joey Gallo, my friend, his tenure with the New York Yankees, it's probably over. So that trade for Andrew Benintendi happened not even an hour after the Yankees faced off against the Mets. Legit 20 minutes after this game came to a close, Brian Cashman had seen enough. He made the move. Now, the game itself was pretty entertaining as Alonso connected for his 26th home run. He has 84 RBIs already. Lindor singled home Tomas Nido to make it 2-0. And it stayed 2-0 for a while because Max Scherzer was Mad Max last night. He made a Yankee smoothie out of the Bronx Bombers. He had 6 strikeouts over 7 shutout innings. 3 of those 6 were against the MVP frontrunner Aaron Judge. Now, Glaber did tie on an oppo tackle, but all was well with the Mets because Escobar doubled and Marte singled him home to walk it off. The Mets have won 3 in a row, and DeGrom is set to make his return the first week of August when they face off against the Nationals. So the Mets, they're rolling and getting healthy at the perfect time. Yu Darvish and Tarek Skubal, this was one of the nastier matchups of the day. Skubal, his defense hurt him again, so he allows a couple runs, but all of them were unearned. Again, the 2 runs that you see were both unearned, while Yu Darvish kind of got lit up by one dude, Jamier Candelario. He had an RBI in the first and then another in the 6th inning. Jurickson Profar of the Padres broke a 2-2 tie to give the Padres the lead in the 7th, but Taylor Rogers, his arm must be falling off because he has now blown 6 saves over the last month or something crazy like that. You have Victor Reyes walking it off, and Rogers has now allowed 20 earned runs over his last, let's just call it 20 innings. He has been terrible, and I kind of feel bad for Padres fans because having a good closer seems to be the issue ever since Kirby Yates went down with an injury. Where is Kirby Yates, by the way? Another walk-off to talk about. Colorado jumped on Lucas Giolito to start off this one. I'm thinking, oh no, Lucas is going to get shelled. He might be cooked. Chuck Nasty hit one 430 feet while Cron and Iglesias drove in the other couple, but lucky for Sox fans, Lucas Giolito did in fact settle down. He threw 4 shutout innings after that, and Pollock actually put Chicago up by 2 in the 7th. Jose Iglesias clutches up immediately after that Pollock RBI base hit, So it's a 1-run game. Kendall Graveman had one of the worst innings I've ever seen from a relief pitcher. Like, ever since I've been born to now, this might have been one of the worst. He walked 3 consecutive hitters before giving up a 2-run walk-off single to Diaz. He completely botched this much-needed win because the Twins lost, whereas Cleveland, they were facing off against the Red Sox. So the White Sox absolutely needed this W, and of course, it was a horrible loss. Now, this next game, this was the definition of quiet before the storm. Nothing for 4 innings, and then the Philly offense unleashed for a 5 spot off of poor Charlie Morton. Bohm, he had a single to start it off. More on him in just a second because he has been unreal. JT Realmuto capped off that 5-run inning with an RBI single, and Bohm was at it again with an RBI double in the 6th. Alec Bohm, are you guys ready for this? He's hitting .427 over his last, not just 5 games, 7 games, over his last 17 games. He has that kind of talent, not 400 batting average talent, but he has legit hitting tools. The Phillies win easy, and again, they even up the season series versus the Braves. I think each team has won 5 games against each other. The Phillies have a plus 48 run differential, and they're just a half game back of the Cardinals for a wild card spot. So if Harper can come back healthy, I do like the Phillies' chance of making the playoffs. All right, now the easiest game of the day, let's get it out the way. Patrick Corbin was pitching, so you know that the Dodgers were going to have a field day. JT, Justin Turner singled home Mookie Betts, and Trace Thompson, he continues to be a stud. He's hitting .303 with 10 extra base hits and 15 RBIs in 76 at-bats. They got him for almost nothing from the Tigers. That is unreal. Hanser Alberto narrowly missed a 3-run home run. He had to settle for a 2-run double, and Barnes and Lux, they finish it off. Corbin, yeah, that was the shortest start of his career. He got 2 outs in this entire game. He is shaping up to be one of the worst contracts in Nationals history. Over his last 280 innings, he has a 6 ERA. He's going to get paid $60 million over the next 2 years, so you almost can no longer include him in that Juan Soto deal because the dude flat out stinks right now. To end the game, you have Lux staying red hot. He brings home the other red hot man, Trace Thompson, and the Dodgers are proving yet again that they are relentless. Now, let's talk about a few things that kind of blew my mind. The Angels won a series, and the A's swept the Astros. Okay, we got to talk about these 2 games. The Stevens showed up early for Oakland. You have Steven Vogt and Steven Piscotty. They both pelted a few baseballs, and of course, Tony Kemp had another RBI extra base hit. Now, the A's did win, but look at this moonshot from Yordan Alvarez. My lord, lefty, he can hit one that far. Regardless, Cole Irvin went 7 strong, and Sky Bolt gave AJ Puck another insurance run to work with. Puck strikes out 1 in a perfect 9th inning, earning a 2nd save of the year, and the Astros just got swept for the first time in 2022. Now, what's more surprising? Houston getting swept by the worst team in baseball, or the Angels finally winning a series? Jason Junk, he was throwing a lot of junk yesterday. What a 2022 season debut. Jason was picked up by his teammates in a 2-run 5th inning, and Junk, yeah, he had himself a day throwing a bunch of junk, like I mentioned. 5 shutout innings, and he was completely nasty. 8 strikeouts in 5 innings. He only threw 86 pitches, so he probably could have gone more and racked up even more strikeouts. You have Ohtani singling home Squid. He is 1 RBI away from 60 on the season. Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, J-Ram, Rafael Devers, Yordan Alvarez, you name it. There are so many AL MVP frontrunners. I mean, honestly, we'll talk about J-Rod in a second because he is mashing his way into that discussion as well. Now, speaking of mashing, Rowdy Tellez yet again had himself a 6 RBI day, and honestly, the Jays got smoked in that trade. They got Trevor Rogers from the Brewers. Now, he was decent last year, but he has been horrific in 2022. Tellez now has 20 home runs and 64 RBIs. The Brewers, they're still 3 games ahead of the Cardinals. Burns had a decent day on the bump. He had 11 strikeouts, but I think he gave up 2 or 3 runs, so we're not going to talk about him too much. Now, it stayed 3 games because the Cardinals had a big day versus Rowdy's former team, the Blue Jays. Carlson and Nootbaar, they both doubled in runs early, and then the St. Louis Cardinals broke out the boomsticks. You had Nolan Gorman launching his 10th home run, and Pujols, he went nuclear on this pitch. He sent this 3-run bomb nearly 450 feet. He is now sitting at 686 career home runs. Waino had 7 strong innings, striking out 8 Jays. He is now just 9 wins away from 200, and he has a career 47 WAR. So is he on the path to be a Hall of Famer? It's going to be close. Ketel Marte is a monster. I remember when he was just a slap hitter with the Mariners back in 2015. So it's pretty cool to see him just say F it, put on a ton of weight, and now he has really changed his career trajectory. David Peralta is bolstering his trade value. He smokes another RBI extra base hit as Zach Gallen was fantastic. He went 5 innings with 5 strikeouts, and Josh Rojas hit one to my house in Las Vegas. Goodness. He has a 122 OPS plus. He is a very valuable valuable player. I wonder if the Diamondbacks are going to consider trading him. Now, we hinted at J-Rod a little bit earlier, and I need you guys to understand something. He is not just the #1 guy right now ahead of Bobby Witt Jr. and Jeremy Pena for the AL Rookie of the Year. He could be a legit MVP candidate by the end of the season if he keeps this up. That's a 3-run no-doubter, his 18th of the year. He has 21 stolen bases, a 140 OPS plus, almost 4 WAR on the season. Again, I'm not saying that he's going to win it over Judge, Ohtani, Alvarez, Devers, J-Ram, anyone else that you can think of, but dang, this kid is going to be special. He's 21 years old. He's going to be doing this for a while. Matthew Festus set down the Rangers in order for a second save, as the Mariners, they are 11-2 versus their Suns, the Texas Rangers. The Rays got a much-needed W down in Baltimore. G-Man Choi and Luke Raley, they both left the yard, and Yandy Diaz pushed it to a 4 spot in the 5th. Baltimore, they didn't go down without a fight. Jorge Mateo smacked his 8th home run of the year to tie it. He's hitting .355 over the last 2 weeks, but all they did was delay the inevitable, as Randy doubles in 2 on his 22nd double of the season, and Peter Fairbanks, he's back on the squad. He earns his first save of the year. Cincinnati, we're going to talk about Luis Castillo a whole lot over the next few days, I feel like. Cincinnati got off to a hot start versus the Marlins. Farmer and Solano both laced a few RBI doubles, and Matt Reynolds singled the shallow center to bring home Donovan Solano. Reynolds had another RBI in the 3rd inning. Now, the Marlins tried their best to mount a comeback. Rookie J.J. Bleday hit his first career home run. I think that he has a chance to be something special as well. This was off of Luis Castillo, which isn't easy to do. The Reds bullpen was pretty good though, and Strickland came in for the 9th, coming away with his 6th save of the year. Now, of course, Luis Castillo, this could be his final start as a member of the Reds. He's an all-star. He has a 2.82 ERA and a 3.21 FIP. All that means is he is very, very good. Yankees fans, even with Benintendi, I feel like they won't be happy unless Luis Castillo is in pinstripes. And last but not least, Bobby Dahlbeck had himself a day with 5 RBIs, but the Red Sox didn't win this game. Miles Straw and Steven Kwan both sprayed some baseballs for a few RBI 2-baggers, and Ahmed made it a 5-2 ball game. But again, the Red Sox, they had some dude named Bobby. He actually put Boston up by, I think, 1 or 2 runs on his 2nd home run of the day. And I can't believe it happened again. Miles Straw had his 2nd RBI double of the day. This 2nd one ties it up, and I had a good feeling about Josh Naylor's final at-bat. The dude delivered. He had a bat flip for the ages. He puts Cleveland up by 1. And of course, when you have Emmanuel Clase coming in for the 9th, it's going to be easy work. He has a 1-2-3 inning for his 21st save. The Guardians, they have a fantastic young core of players. If they can make a trade at the deadline, maybe for a pitcher or multiple pitchers, man, we could make some noise. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you learned something, don't be afraid to leave a like, because these videos do take a lot of effort to make, and also subscribe, because we have more videos on the way talking about Mike Trout and other trades that are about to happen. So without further ado, let's roll the web gems.
Ground ball, diving stop by Donovan, gets up. Oh, what a play, Brendan Donovan.
Higashioka, right center field and shallow. Nimmo coming, so is Marte. Marte slides and makes a nice play.
Fly ball left center. Slicing deep. Thompson rolls under and makes the catch.
Field, and now he shows it in center field to the left center gap, and no.
Smoked pretty well center field. Julio staying with it. He's there. Wow. Takes the minimum through 3 with a 1-0 lead, and Julio and it all away. Yes, he did.
Smashed up the middle. Oh, a diving stop by Miller. Throws from his knees,
baby.
And he got him a dynamite play by the Big O.
He was at first base last night, getting the start at second today, and makes just a great play.
Fly ball right field. Reyes giving chase. Still running. Leaning and making the grab. It helps to be long, limber, and quick. Reyes reaching out.
Back to the middle. Witt dives. His throw is on a bounce, and O'Hearn makes a nice play.
Clean that thing up.
Yeah, it's got to go to work. Well, flare into shallow center, coming on Myers, and he will make an incredible